look where we're at.
Yes! Yes!
This is Stan Lee.
I'm Michael Rooker. I'm Norman Reedus.
Hi, folks. I'm Bruce Campbell.
Hey guys, this is Brett Dalton.
We're all here to see me, of course.
Hello everybody! You ready to do this? You guys fans of a show called Daredevil? Come on, that's not loud enough. We got the whole cast of Daredevil! Yeah, let's let them hear some noise! Ladies and gentlemen, let's just bring them on out. I'm so excited. First up, you know him as Foggy. Elden Henson! He's coming. They're back there. Yeah! Wherever you want, man. Next up, Deborah and Woll! I loved her as Elektra. Elodie! She's the night nurse, Rosario Dawson! Last but not least, there's one more. Mr. Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox! Thank you guys for doing this. How fun is this con experience meeting the fans? I imagine you guys are starting to do this a lot. You're in such a hit show. Like, tell me about that experience. Does it still sort of blow your mind that all these people are just here dying to meet these characters and you guys?
For me, it's quite new. It's the second convention I do, and I really like it. It's always a nice moment to meet, people who genuinely love the show, and so I'm having a good time.
Yeah, thanks for coming out on a Sunday. That's so cool, you guys. Thank you.
I'm curious. So, I mean, it's an amazing show. You guys, but there was a previous on-screen incarnation of this Daredevil franchise. Was there any trepidation when you got the project, or was it just so good you knew this was going to blow fans' minds?
I didn't know what it was when I auditioned for it.
It's not a joke. I really didn't.
And then when I got the first two scripts, they were amazing. So
none of you watched the movie before you started.
I had. I knew.
So what? Be honest. Yeah, what was it?
I was a little scared.
What changed?
I felt the pressure, if anything. Not necessarily scared because I read the material, so I knew what we were doing was amazing. But I just felt that pressure of other people, like, wondering and feeling that, and just wanting to make sure that what we were doing was going to be able to hold on its own and not have to be about being better than something or different, but just being its great own thing.
Well, I'm a big Riff Tracks fan, and they did a riff of the original Daredevil movie, so I watched that. I watched the riff with the movie, and now they are going to riff the first episode of our Daredevil.
Are you joining them? You should join them.
No, I'm terrified. Are you kidding? I don't actually watch the show, so I was like, I don't know if the first time I watch my series should be with my heroes mocking me. But I think that's like a fun little crossover for me, at least.
Oh, that's a great cut. I love you even more that you love Riff Tracks. Charlie, did you watch the movie before at any point?
I did. I did. You know, I mean this. I do think that Ben Affleck did a great job. I actually really liked his Matt Murdock. I think that the movie has some problems. It was fun to watch. I think our show is tonally completely different, so it's very hard to compare the two. But I did have a friend who, when I got the job, he was visiting New York and we went out for coffee, and he said, "Did you get the Daredevil job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "The bar is low."
Not anymore, Charlie. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Very true.
Well, you guys have done so much even beyond Daredevil. Is it true, Elodie, that you were a baby model?
Sorta. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I started out doing like print ads and stuff.
But you've been doing Mighty Ducks. I mean, so much fun stuff throughout the whole, yeah, right? But all of you have done so much fun work. Is there one role or part in the past that you wish you could be blind to? Get it? Because you guys have done so much over the years. Is there one part you'll admit, you know what, I don't want that one on my record?
A job we've done.
Yeah, like a past part or role. Because you've been,
yeah, for sure. Sorry. Are you guys actually struggling to think of something?
I go through it. It's like a lot of TV. You guys have all done so much amazing work.
I go through my resume, and I'm like, there's a couple that I'm like proud of. You know, the rest I'm like, oh, screw that.
What's the one that comes to your head?
So I did a Spanish movie that when I signed up for it, I thought it was kind of interesting. It had some interesting people attached. When I got there, it was basically a porno. And it's maybe the most horrible movie you've ever seen in your life.
I don't know.
Oh no, but trust me. Okay, let me give you an example. The guy who wrote it didn't speak English. He wrote it in English. And there's a scene in the film where the other English actor says to me, and they wouldn't let us change anything. We tried to help them, they weren't having it. And there was one scene where this guy says, "Do you want? I have to see her again. The girl he loved. I have to see her again." And I have to say back to him, "Do you want me to went with you?" Instead of, "Do you want me to go with you?"
You didn't try. You wouldn't let you change.
No, I said I can change it if you want. And they said no. So I'm like, fine, exactly how it's written.
I gotta look this up. Anybody else gonna admit one?
I just when I have folks come up for signing, I love all your movies. I'm like, you clearly have not seen all of them. Because only my mom likes Pluto Nash.
All right, I'll let the rest of you off the hook. But we have so many questions from fans. I want to grab some. Let's start there. Let's go on this side first. Hello. What's your question for the cast? It's on. While sitting.
That's fun.
It's like a regular episode.
You know, there's a couple of great scenes between Foggy and Karen that I think we should definitely.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. This is great.
I don't remember anything. Are you kidding? It was like almost a year ago when we wrapped season 2, and then trust me, as soon as the lines go in, they go right out of my head.
I'm not convinced they ever go in, buddy.
Fair enough. That's true. That's true.
He was talking to me. Sorry, that was me. My bad.
Well, it looks like that's what you're going to get. That was pretty good, though. I accept that. Good question. Let's go over here.
Hi. So my question is for Deborah. I was wondering if you, what you think Karen's going to do now that she knows that Matt is Daredevil.
Yeah. I mean, I'm as curious as the rest of you because we have seen nothing. Like, this is a really good time to do a con because we don't have any more information than you do, so we can't screw ourselves over.
When does it start filming? Oh, you guys don't know.
No, I mean, it's such a huge moment, and I'm sort of hoping that down the line it'll lead Karen to revealing her own secrets, because it's a big deal for him to tell her that he's Daredevil, but it's also a big deal for her to be like, yeah, I killed the guy. So I feel like I'm hoping it will lead to some opening up on her part.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
But would you be mad?
I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, we even talked about it, like whether he should use his cane in that last scene, and I was like, no, because that's kind of another lie. So yeah, you have to think about like every minute is sort of a little bit of a not totally honest moment. So I hope it's a turning point where they can be really honest with each other going forward.
And you know, the question is, what's better? Is it better that he's Daredevil or better that he's an alcoholic? Which is
right.
the thing.
Right.
How would each of you react if you found out one of your best friends was a superhero? Would you be excited? Would you be nervous? Would you?
I'd be so excited. I'd be so excited. I'd be like, can we shop for costumes together? Should we get like a bat phone kind of situation? Like, you know,
Batcave?
signal, like do the whole thing.
Would anyone actually be pissed?
Well, I think it depends what they do. I mean, like, Daredevil beats people to a bloody pulp. And, like, Karen's super into that. She thinks that's really cool. So I hope that that'll outweigh the anger. But on the other hand, like, you know, if you're like, I rescue kittens from trees, like, yeah, you're a superhero.
Well, he doesn't kill anyone, right?
He doesn't kill anyone.
He might beat them up
Karen
enough
was
that
down
they die
with the
later.
Punisher, so.
Yeah, true. All right, let's grab another question over here. Oh, yes, you, sir.
Do you guys know that if Bullseye or Elektra will be the next villain in season 3?
I assume they don't know, but who do you want
Don't
to
look
be the
at
next?
me, I don't know anything.
Do you want her to be a villain, like in season 3?
I would love to die many times, you know? But I'm sorry, we really, as you know, Karen, sorry, I'm in Daredevil today. As Deborah said, we don't know anything, so hopefully, you know, that'd be a good character to bring, I think, in the show.
Are there any other people you want to see, like Bullseye or
A
Stiltman?
fan yesterday said they would love to see Bullseye, and they thought Norman Reedus would be very cool. That's nothing official. Like,
Well, if he dies on Walking Dead this season,
He has no idea what she's just done in
I
terms
know. I'm sorry, Norman. I'm sorry.
Now it's totally in the news. You just announced Norman Reedus as Bullseye.
It's already trending.
Good question, dude. Thank you so much. Over here.
Hi guys. So with season 3, of course, you guys.
English.
Yep. Hi.
We're all friends in England. Hey, buddy.
Hey man. So of course, you guys know nothing about season 3, but what would you predict for season 3?
I mean, it's so hard to talk. You know, the season 2 was left so open-ended, so it's very hard to know. But I think and this is, again, I have to preface this by saying this is really is a guess. But I think what we saw in terms of Matt and Daredevil and that journey that he's on, the personal journey that he's on, when we get to the end of season 2, and he kind of fails. You know, nothing kind of really works out in the end. And for him at the end of season 2, which is one of the reasons I loved what the writers did with that season, because it's nice to see. I think it's important to see the failures as well as the successes. I think one of the reasons that has to happen is because going into the Defenders, Matt is going to have to learn that he needs help, that he can't do all this alone, and that maybe some teamwork is going to actually be beneficial. So whatever lessons he learns in the Defenders will then play into, I think, season 3 and how he goes forward from there, if that makes sense.
Also, Charlie, I thought you were great in Stardust.
Yeah, agreed.
Thanks, man.
Rosario, I'm curious. Like, did you know that that the night nurse would become this thread through all of these shows, like ahead of time? When did you find that out? How do you feel about that now?
I think it's awesome. I did not know. I mean, I've been signing on every year just on its own. So it's never even, I think you signed on for a few years, depending on, and still not knowing if it would happen, 25 years. Yeah. I feel like I've had a really different sort of experience in that, where I just really don't know. And then when I do sign up, I sign up for episodes, but they don't tell me which shows. So I have no idea. I'm just sort of working and have this question mark for the entire year of just when are they going to call me and for what and how is it going to show up. And when I do, I come in pretty late, so I won't get those first couple of episodes Like that's what happened in the second season when I came on. They didn't send me any of the previous episodes, so I suddenly just came in the middle of all of this insanity, and they were like, "You'll watch it at the premiere like the rest of us." So I don't know exactly. My character is sort of a little standalone in that sense because I come in on those very particular moments of needing to be helping a situation. So I don't really know all the preamble and everything that got us there, and then I get the following episode, so it's really fun to follow, but. I really have no idea.
But you
this
do
is where they inject me where Claire needs to, seal and solve a wound. That's where I come in.
Well, there was one thing that I thought was really cool is in the second season, we had a scene together. And we in the storyline, we hadn't seen each other for a long time. And when it took place at the hospital, and Rosario had, Claire Temple has a cut on her eyebrow. So I was like, what's that to do with? And apparently it had nothing to do with our world, but it's part of Luke Cage. So that the timeline had been kind of thought through and worked out so that whatever was going on in Luke Cage, which we don't know, I don't know, but somehow at some point during that show, the next day she's in the hospital talking to me, which I just think those little nuggets I think are really cool.
That's some serious continuity. Yeah. Where they're like, oh, we're giving her a scar here, so you got it on this episode. Elodie, you real black belt in karate? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is this? Yeah, right. So, has this role been like a dream for you? Like this, because I imagine that's like the coolest job as a black belt to then become Elektra. Like.
Yeah, but I think what really excites me about the part is that there's more to her than just being a real badass. And I really enjoy when I have my costume and I look in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, now I'm gonna get to kick some ass. I like it, it's really cool. Yeah, but she's so interesting to try to understand that. So that's really what I enjoy the most, playing her, being her.
No, and kudos, because that was one of my first reactions when I watched the depth you were bringing. There was way more to it than just the standard superhero girl in a show. So, yeah, round of applause. She brought so much. Do you now that I've buttered you up, do you think you actually could kick everybody's ass up here?
Charlie tried, he trained hard, so I think I might struggle a bit, but still I would.
Good answer. All right, I think we're back on this side for questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Hey, y'all. I was just wondering, since we, the fans, get to ask you questions all the time, if you had a question for the fans, what would it be?
Oh, good question. Where's the closest bathroom?
I don't know. It's over there, maybe. Any other questions for the fans? That was a good one.
Yeah.
There you go. Where's the bathroom?
Down the hall, I think.
You can do better? Okay.
What about the thing we were talking about at breakfast?
Oh, definitely talk about the thing you talked about at breakfast.
Well, I don't really know I'm trying to think how to phrase it, but we were just talking, like, sorry, microphone. It's a private conversation we're having.
Micah.
What about like?
It's like I'm just thinking, how do I not open up a trapdoor of like?
Well, we were talking about, I think, like the amount of effort and time that it takes to come to one of these and like be a fan and sort of like where that commitment comes from. Because we were trying to think like who are like our people, where if we could like spend, wait in line for 4 hours. I mean, it's incredible that you guys do that. And so we were trying to figure out like who would our people be that we would wait in line 4 hours for. And so I'd love to know like where that passion comes from. And like we were like, it's sort of sad that like we don't love anything that much, Like it's like I wish I loved something as much as they do.
Riff tracks.
I love riff tracks a lot. I really do love riff tracks.
That's a good question. Who would you each wait in line for several hours to meet? There's got to be somebody. You probably met the most.
Nelson Mandela, right?
Yeah, I said Nelson Mandela, yeah.
Was there? I mean, you've met a lot of amazing people too.
I know, but there's only been ever one human being that I couldn't go and talk to, and I even mustered it up to talk to David Bowie, and that was a big deal. And it was also weird because I'm friends with his wife, so she was like, "Why are you being so weird?" And I'm like, it's the White Duke. But I circled Tim Curry at an upfronts once. And literally, this is years ago now and I learned at a previous con in Calgary, actually, that he had a stroke and he's wheelchair bound, which made me really sad. But it's cool that he's kind of coming back in Rocky Horror as Dr. Scott in the wheelchair, so it's kind of amazing. But I was wondering where he was gone, and I miss him so much, and he can do everything, and I had seen him at this thing, and so I really regret it, but I just knew if I heard his voice in real life, I mean, I'm going back to like Fern Gully, Legends, Clue, like everything. I'm obsessed with Tim Curry, like. So I circled him. And I got close enough to see his mouth really moving, but if I didn't get even close enough to hear his voice because I thought I would faint. I really did. He's the only person I'm like really weird about. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
If you asked Tim Curry who he'd love to meet, he said, Rosario Dawson circled me once.
She clearly doesn't like me. Good question, leading. All right, over here, this side.
My question is for Deborah. Will you give me a hug?
Yes.
I would be happy to.
Oh.
How do we do this?
All right, we're not supposed to, but
My
I guess.
boyfriend's showing up soon, though, so it has to be very
Work your
quick
way
and
over
very
here
kosher.
quickly. We'll try and sneak it in. Question over here. No more hugs. He's small and cute.
Hey, what's up, girl? Hi. I have a question for all of you. If your characters had a karaoke night, what would their go-to karaoke song be?
Oh, I love that question. Good question.
Yeah, start that in.
Elodie, he's saying start over here. Yeah, go-to karaoke song?
For Electra, I don't know, any song that involves sighs and killing, or any suggestion? I don't know, really. Which one?
Let the bodies hit the floor.
All right, I should learn this one. Thank you, that's a good one.
Deborah?
I don't know, Jessica was always Sex and Candy. I love that song for Jessica.
RC Playground, yeah.
Yeah, Sex and Candy for that. For Karen, I don't know, Here Comes the Boom, something like with some like you don't know it's coming, but.
Not the Kevin James movie, though. Yeah,
No, just the song.
Yeah. Elden?
Chumbawamba.
All right. They only have that one song, so we all know what you meant. Rosario?
Heal the world, make it a better place. I don't know.
Man in the Mirror is good, too.
Man, that's a really good answer as well. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
There you go. Good answers. Good question. Let's go back over here.
Thank
so
you.
many of you want to ask.
Hi, I'm Luke. If you guys could switch the roles that you play, like play a different character in the show, who would you like to play?
Well, if you could change your role on Daredevil, who would you want to be?
Foggy, I love donuts.
Maybe Stick.
Oh,
good answer. I'd like to have had a go at Wesley. That was cool. Toby did an amazing job with that role, I thought,
Yeah, he was awesome.
Madame Gao.
oh.
She's so badass. I like her so much. She has the best lines. So sarcastic.
You got some great microphone action going on.
Thanks so much. Blah, blah.
All right. So this came in from, we asked some of our Screen Junkie fans on the line who asked, this is the biggest question. I'm sure you've answered this a million times, but I'm doing it anyway. What MCU Marvel character do you want to appear on the show? Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had it earlier on. I think if we're lucky enough to keep making this show, at some point I would love to see Bullseye show up.
No, I mean MCU as in the Avengers and all the movie people. If you could bring one of them into the show, the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, Ant-Man.
Oh, okay. I guess Hulk, because it would be the most bizarre. Because our world is such like gritty realism with like a little bit of magic, and then this like giant green thing would just come and destroy it. That could be fun. Shake it up.
He needs legal services?
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. I want that bad. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Still thinking, or you're?
No, I think
You agree with
that's
Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's
those are
probably the
good.
answer.
Here, you know the one I
Just
want
to see, could you imagine though, like you're like leaping from one building to the next, and then Spider-Man's like zipping through the other way, and you guys are like, hey, like.
Well, since all the Netflix shows are collaborating, the one I really want is Stranger Things. Can we get Sheriff Hopper in? Right?
That would be awesome.
That'd be really
That'd be
cool.
awesome,
An older
yeah.
or something version.
Cool.
All right, another question over here.
Hi. I'm asking my friend, on behalf of my friend Rose, she couldn't make it, and this is for Charlie. With everything that went on last season, it seems like the stage is being laid out for the Born Again arc. Is that an arc you're excited to adapt?
Well, Born Again is one of my favorites. So whenever there's anything that we do that kind of, is reminiscent of Born Again and, obviously all of Miller's stuff. But, my understanding is that the show never tries to emulate exactly a particular run or a series. Because it's its own thing, and as tragic as it was, killing Ben Urich was part of that idea. Was that this show is very close to the Daredevil that we love and know from the comics, but it's also, no one should feel safe watching it because anything can happen. There's a great one of my favorite moments of season 2 was when we were shooting the stairwell fight scene in episode 3. Yeah. A massive shout out to Phil Silvera and Chris Brewster, the stunt guys who do so much of that. When we got to the point where John is in the elevator and I come back out and I've got the gun strapped to my hand. And then there's a what they call a rack focus from the gun to my face, and I smile, and it's basically the cover of No More Mr. Nice Guy. And those moments are like, I love it when we reference a comic like that, an image that is so iconic, and we get to have it in the show. And some people pick up on it, a lot of people don't, maybe. So anything that we can do like that, all those Easter eggs, I love.
Awesome. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Over here.
Hey guys, love the show. You guys are all awesome. Two-part question. First one for Deborah. Better love interest, Karen and Matt, or Jessica and Hoyt. The second question is for Elden. Are we ever going to see the Bash Brothers again in a movie?
I don't know. I mean, they're very different, and I don't know. I genuinely try not to think too much about my characters in terms of like who they end up with, kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, they're very different people.
No pressure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting question. I don't know that I've ever really thought about it, to be honest. Sorry.
So Hoyt.
I mean, I'm in this now, so probably I would go with Karen and Matt. But yeah, for the time when I was doing that, that was really special.
And the follow, what was
I hope so. I would do another one of those movies in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm curious, since there's rumors of The Flash and Supergirl doing a musical episode, would Daredevil ever do a musical episode? That'd be too queer, do you think? Would any of you get excited, or would you be terrified?
I'd be terrified. Terrified.
Rosario has been auditioning on this panel for that.
All right, over here.
Hi. My question's for the whole cast, but specifically for Rosario Dawson. As a fellow Lower East Side girl, how does it feel to be part of a production where you're showing the sort of gritty underbelly of New York, the not glamorous part of New York?
Well, it's really weird because New York is incredibly gentrified right now. So I actually grew up in very gritty New York, and this is not very gritty New York. So they're having to use a lot of filters to make it look like that. Because, I mean, Hell's Kitchen doesn't even really exist anymore.
No.
We shot a lot of Jessica Jones and Daredevil on the Lower East Side, which is amazing and great. But when I grew up there living in a squat with one working street lamp, and no police ever came when you called them. It was a very different New York with graffiti on the trains, and it just was a really different New York. You can see it in like Dog Day Afternoon, but you don't, it's really hard to create it now. So what I love actually about it is because these stories were written in that time. And by bringing that feeling back to New York, I think there's a real connection to that. That's what people still think of New York when they go. I think they're very surprised that it doesn't, or they're happy because it's nice to have safety. Safety is a good thing. I'm not complaining about safety. But it's a bit weird when like girls are walking down the street at 4 o'clock in the morning with like headphones in and like, can't find my keys, and like dropping their stuff on the floor. I'm like, Target, I kind of want to rob you on principle. This is still New York. Bad things still happen. But that's cool. I hope you get home safely. But like, I think it's good to kind of keep that energy of what I like about, especially with Daredevil, is that it's not necessarily super overt. There's definitely like muggings and things like that, but it's really talking about the sinister stuff that happens behind doors that we don't necessarily pay attention to. The people who we look up to and admire who are not necessarily heroes. And kind of being a little bit more thoughtful and smart about it, so it doesn't look like seedy New York. You don't just get away with just going, oh, it's just a dangerous place. It's like, no, it's a great place. It is what you make of it. And I like that evolution of New York having grown up there. I think that's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over here.
Hey guys, long-time panel listener, first-time question asker.
No pressure.
Yeah, right. My question is, what is, for everyone, what's your favorite cereal mascot and why?
God, that is hard, actually. Like a gazelle.
So not
Count
cereal,
Chocula.
just the mascot.
No, not cereal.
Count
just
Count Chocula.
Oh, that's good.
Captain Crunch, I like that.
Captain Crunch, cereal characters.
Like
They're
Tony
great!
the
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger.
Where'd you guys grow up? Oh, right, Europe. No.
I'm sorry, we don't really have mascots.
They don't have Fruit Loops.
That's the question you waited all these years to ask?
Yes. I don't have much of a social life, so that's...
Did you get a good answer?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied.
Okay.
You guys rock.
I'm glad you're satisfied. Thank you, sir. Over here.
Okay, so this one is for Charlie. Since you play the man without fear in Daredevil, what in real life are you afraid of?
Large panels. That's a good question. That's a great question. Oh, God. There are many things. But I'm trying to answer this question in a way that kind of seems like I've actually put some thought into it. But, I guess I hope this doesn't sound too trite, but the thing that one of the things I'm afraid of is going home at the end of the day when you've had a job to do, or you're doing a day of filming, or you've had an important meeting or an audition, or a day with a friend or whatever. It doesn't matter really what it is, and you feel like you didn't put everything you had into it. You didn't really give it your best shot. That feeling of I could have done better. I could have been I could have been more present or more available or more of more service or whatever it is. That's a feeling that I fear.
Thank you.
No snakes or bugs or anything? Spiders? No?
No, not really.
Good for you. All right, good.
I don't mind spiders.
Over here.
Okay,
nice shirt.
Thank you. Okay, this is a question for Charlie. Just kind of wondering if it was difficult to really be able to play Matt Murdock, at least at first, given how he's supposed to be blind while at the same time might as well not be. Because you convey it very well, where even though you can't see, you are still able to function perfectly in the world.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's surprisingly challenging, actually, and continues to be. Because the hardest thing is not necessarily what I do with my eyes, but it's, as you know, it's normally when I'm in a scene with someone like Rosario or Foggy or even Elodie, Elektra, who knows about Matt and they know about his abilities. He would never have to kind of pretend to find something on a table. He would never have to not look search for something using his hands in a way that he would in front of Karen, because she doesn't know about, or until now hasn't known about his, you know, his heightened senses. So it's really tricky when we're filming, and often takes up a lot of time. You know, I remember scenes with Rosario where, you know, we're chatting, and I'm both Rosario and Electra actually, and Elodie, when I'm patching them up. You know, I'm trying to have a conversation here, and not look at the needle that is going through their skin.
You'd hurt me
It's really
every
challenging,
single
you know.
time.
Yeah, it took a lot of time. And I remember there was one scene where it was with Rosario, we were chatting, and there was a box that I had to pick up halfway through the scene, like the suture box behind me. And the amount of times I had to be like, to try and, you know, and I couldn't, that's not gonna fly on camera, because Matt would never do that. He would just grab it.
Or the catch the sweater thing in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's right. In episode 4 of season 1, you know, Claire throws the sweater at me from over there, and I have to catch it without looking at it, because he would obviously never use his eyes to catch it. So we had a guy, as soon as Rosario picked it up, we had one of the ADs in the corner go, 1, 2, 3, now. Like that. So
smooth.
Yeah, smooth, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question. I'm curious. Do either of you? How would you defeat Daredevil? Do you feel like you know a trick? Either any of your characters that could actually take him down?
What, you have to go for like his heart, like his soul, you know? Like Karen would have to do it by getting into his heart, you know?
Yeah. Electra tries hard and doesn't really succeed to it.
I just poison him. I mean, he trusts me. If I was like, you need this shot, he'd take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of one of those things. I wouldn't. I'm just saying. I could, if I wanted to.
I'm curious, because Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, they're all actually really fun, but Kilgrave was such a great villain. Do you think Daredevil could have taken out Kilgrave?
I'd love to know how that would pan out. It was such a. I really enjoyed. I mean, David Tennant, guys, right?
I'd
I think that could be our musical episode, though. Kilgrave could make us all sing for it.
You're good. Who's paying? Write that down, someone. Yeah, that's really good. All right, let's get a couple more questions. We'll be able to fit in. Go ahead.
Hi. First of all, that Norman Reedus thing, that was me yesterday.
Oh, nice.
That was me. Obviously, my question is, it's a casting question. For a Marvel Cinematic Universe TV show or movie, which one would be perfect for Emily Kinney?
She's Beth from Walking Dead. She's no longer on Walking Dead. Spoiler alert.
I don't know that we know that show well enough to answer the question.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just going to be honest.
Let's just stick with Norman Reedus. That was a good one. Yeah. All right. Good try.
Thanks, Beth.
Over here.
Okay. Hi, guys. First of all, I want to say really quick, Rosario, I loved you in Rent. That got me more into singing, and so good. So thank you for that. And my question is, we kind of already talked about if you could have another character on the show who you'd want to have, but if your character could be on another show, what show do you think they'd be on, would do well, kick everybody's ass, just in general?
What show? Their characters or themselves?
The characters.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to say yourself instead, that's fine, but up to you.
You stumped him.
Sorry.
I'd like to
if
see.
that's too
I'd like to
hard.
see Daredevil in Fargo.
Yeah.
That would be really weird, but kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
Or The People versus OJ. That was a good show too.
I'd want to like patch up Nick Fury, just because everyone sort of like calls me sort of like the Nick Fury of like our whole little world, just because I'm jumping around and everything. That'd be kind of fun. Just be like, I got you. They need you. Just like these guys need me. You got to stick around, otherwise it all falls apart.
Totally.
I don't know, I think Karen would be sort of oddly appropriate on Mad Men. I think that'd be kind of fun to put her there and be a strong chick there. Yeah.
Law and Order. Dun dun. Oh my God, that'd be so dope. I'd be so excited to see you on Law and Order. Dun dun. Sorry.
All right, only a couple. I want to get a couple. I know a lot of you
Thank
waited.
you so much, guys.
Real quick, couple more. Go ahead.
Foggy on Friends.
Elektra on Friends. I think.
Over here, yeah, go ahead.
Knowing the timetable that Daredevil takes place, how would you feel about an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crossover?
And Ghost Rider's showing up this season.
Cool. I mean, Ghost Rider's cool, and you know, he would definitely work on our show.
Are you jealous they got Ghost Rider and not you guys?
We got Punisher. I'm not worried about it.
We're okay.
But I would love to see them face off. That would be dope.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, over here.
Hi, my name's Angela. It's a big moment for me. You guys are like the first celebrities that I got to meet, so you guys are fucking phenomenal. I love you. Question for Charlie. How do you think, if you had to guess, Daredevil and Jessica Jones, how do you think they'd get along?
I'm so intrigued. I no, like genuinely, like so intrigued to see what that relationship is going to be like. And I mean, I'm excited about all of those relationships, but I think the Danny Rand, Matt Murdock is kind of, that makes more sense to me at this point. Like, I think that, you know, Matt will probably take him under his wing a little bit, and you know, I love the age difference between, I think Danny Rand's like 25 and Matt's obviously in his 30s, so. And of the four, they're the two that kind of have the most iconic costumes. So, you know, I have no idea what's going to happen, but it's kind of funny to me that of that group, we're like, no, we're the costume guys. you guys do the wear your home clothes at work thing. We're in spandex, okay? So, but no, the Jessica, I mean, like, they could love each other and they could hate each other. I've no idea. I'm very excited to see how that goes. But I think Kristen Ritter is awesome, so I can't wait to work with her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over here, one more.
My name is Michael, and I'm asking a question for a friend who didn't make it. This is for Charlie, and his question was, playing the role of Matt Murdock, what did you learn about yourself personally playing the role of a blind person?
What did I learn about myself personally? I mean,
You think on that.
Yeah, I'll come.
One more question over here. We'll end on that. No pressure.
Oh God, no pressure. Okay, hi. Charlie, a friend introduced me.
No, I need time to think about the last.
No, it's a question for everybody, but it's a friend introduced me to Stardust just a couple months ago, and I fell in love with it. So I was wondering if you all.
Thanks, 11 people.
If you all had the chance to rescue a fallen star and get a wish, what would you wish for?
Oh, good. Wishes. While you figure that out.
You guys are really hard.
I'd wish to be able to sing and play bass like Jared Warren.
I wish I knew how to answer the last question.
I would have wished for Bernie Sanders to be president so we could have universal health care. Universal health care.
Anybody else? More wishes?
Self-confidence.
They do love you guys. All right. That you answered the question. Give them I think that counts. How about a round of applause for these guys? You guys are still signing today, but yes. So come on by, make sure you get there, and thank them again. Big round of applause. Thank you guys so much. That was so fun.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Look where we're at.
Yes! Yes!
This is Stan Lee.
I'm Michael Rooker. I'm Norman Reedus.
Hi, folks. I'm Bruce Campbell.
Hey, guys. This is Brett Dalton.
We're all here to see me, of course.